Hello everyone, my name is Aleem Yusuf. I'm a fashion designer and a couturier. I love making beautiful dresses, designing them, illustrating them, fitting my clients. And the biggest joy is when I'm doing the fittings and the end result and seeing the big smile on my client's face, that makes me really happy. And that's when I know I've done my job. So my love for fashion actually started at a very young age. Fashion and couture, dressmaking, all of that. When I was probably 9 years old, I was really inspired by my grand aunt, who I learned a lot of sewing techniques and pattern making and all of that, growing up from her, and really fostered that, nurtured that, growth of learning. And then later in life, for some reason, I just ended up with a totally different career. And after doing that for a while, I was like, you know what, that passion is still there, and I'm gonna go back to it. And that's what I did. And there was quite a few years of, changing over and, going back to school, learning and all of that stuff. And eventually, that's been one of the lucky ones, been able to do. So my label and my style is all about enhancing and flattering and empowering my client. The design lines that work with their proportions. It all comes down to really intricate pattern cutting, looking at all the proportions in relation to every individual shape. And that's where it's very unique, because it's all, the main bulk of the business, the label is made to measure couture gowns. And it's all about enhancing and celebrating every client's individuality, their personality, and bringing that to the next level. The biggest inspiration for me is my clients. That's where I draw a lot of inspiration on a daily basis. And it's all about celebrating their individuality, and enhancing their self-expression. And that's my biggest inspiration. Yeah, so the process of putting a new collection together, the starting point can be really different every single time, and even within the collection as well, for different pieces. It might start with a sketch, or it might start with a piece of fabric or a swatch, or something I've collected many, many years ago that's on the mood board. That might inspire me to start a whole collection. So it's really an organic process. There is no set formula. It's all, one thing meshes into the next, and it kind of manifests all these feelings and thoughts, from the heart, manifesting on paper, on cutting fabric, sampling, and having this beautiful, mood, a three-dimensional mood board of pieces, and then working from there. And it's about being connected to different fabrics as well, the embellishments. I may have a vision or a dream or a conversation that I've heard. It all comes together, and it kind of manifests, into a collection. So yes, all of our designs, all of our pieces are actually made in Melbourne, in our studio here in Collingwood, and that's always been like that. It's been really, really important to have. It's not just a business, making dresses. It's also empowering our local industry, enhancing the local talent that we have so much of it here, promoting our own skills, bringing our industry to the next level. And I've always felt like it's individual responsibility as well as a designer, as a business owner based in Melbourne. The city has given me so much, and the industry has given me so much, it's about giving back as well. So the best thing I love about being a designer or a couturier is when I see the big smile on my client's face at their last fitting or the pickup appointment, and they've got their dress fully finished and they're wearing it and looking at themselves in the mirror, and I'm looking at them and they're smiling. And sometimes they actually do even jump, with joy. That is the best feeling, and that's what I love the most about being a designer and what I do on a daily basis. So I'm very, very blessed. And for them to entrust me with their one of the most important dresses they're gonna wear, emotionally invest as well, and have that trust. It's a huge privilege for me, to be getting that from my clients, and yeah, I just don't feel anything compares with that feeling. So yeah, that's what I love the most. So the biggest highlight of my career so far has been when I went to Paris to show at the Haute Couture Week. My first time showing in Paris, that was the biggest highlight. It was such an exciting, incredible, mesmerizing experience. Something I've never felt before, as long as I've, shown collections. And not just that, and then being, called to go back the second season. These two were the biggest highlights so far. And let's hoping, we'll be there the third season, after COVID. As old school, when I would look at, the Collezioni magazines and, the Haute Couture magazines, I was like, wow, I want to be on this Haute Couture catwalk, one day. Well, it was really, really exciting, to be there and have that experience, and very memorable. Bulk of my clients is coming to my studio in Collingwood, and it's a really one-on-one experience, very personalized consultation. It's all about you, your aspirations, your personality, your everyday life, what do you do in your career. It's talking about all of those things, when I'm designing for my client, because it's so important, that they are a higher version of themselves, when they're wearing a gown designed by me. It's not about changing someone or, making them look like somebody they're not. And also we have a showroom in Paris as well, Secret Code Paris. That's another way, the Middle Eastern clients and the European clients, they visit that showroom, and we have, people there looking after them.